Hello, my name is Brandin Bowden. I'm the Director of Community Programs at the Institute for Integrative Health, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Over the next few minutes, I will talk to you guys about the Mindfulness at Patterson Project, or MAPP, a public high school-based mindfulness intervention program that helped inform a set of guiding principles for creating and evaluating community-based programs that impact youth health in Baltimore City. When the project was created, there was a growing body of evidence that supports mindfulness interventions with school-aged youth. These studies reported reductions in intrusive thoughts, emotional arousal, anxiety, and even demonstrated improvements in coping. However, there were no published studies describing these impacts for older youth. MAPP was actually created to evaluate the Mindful Moment program at Patterson High School in Baltimore, Maryland. The 15-minute practice was broadcasted daily via the school intercom system and included seated yoga, breathwork, and silent reflection. The Holistic Life Foundation practitioners first introduced the mindfulness concepts and practice to faculty, and later offered in-class training for teachers and students. The Mindful Moment Room was created for students to strengthen their practice and avoid suspension through direct in-person intervention. The outcomes evaluation was designed by researchers at the University of Maryland School of Medicine's Center for Integrative Medicine. The researchers led an extensive stakeholder engagement process with the Holistic Life Foundation, school administrators, teachers, staff, students, parents and guardians, and other researchers in order to collect feedback and inform program evaluation. They selected a combination of school-wide and student-level outcomes to explore the research question: is implementing a mindfulness program in an entire urban high school feasible and effective? In addition to the data collection, there were many factors to consider when setting up the study. The rigid school curriculum did not offer much space to introduce a new program during the school day, so a single 15-minute practice accompanying the morning announcements was selected to minimize classroom disruption. On-site support needs increased for teachers and student ambassadors throughout the year. Bumping up the on-site practitioner presence helped monitor individual practices in the Mindful Moment Room and throughout the school. However, more resources were needed. The practice itself also created some resistance, causing concern for some teachers and threatening a certain social standing for some students. Introducing the mindfulness concepts in different ways over time allowed for more personal connections with the practice. In the end, the research team concluded this primarily intercom-based delivery of a school-wide mindfulness intervention feasible, with limited effectiveness. Patterson High School reported suspension rate reductions, increases in attendance, and increases in ninth grade matriculation. But there's limited inference due to multiple concurrent programs happening at the school that year. MAPP highlighted many of the nuances of collecting outcomes in real-world settings. It also reminded us that definitions of success will vary from stakeholder to stakeholder, but we have to work together to manage priorities and expectations. Take a look at Patterson High School's principal Vance Benton's response when asked what we should be measuring and what success looks like to him.
As a high school principal, there are many demands that are placed upon us. A lot of it extends beyond academics and really the ability for children to be academically successful. What should be measured are the things that I'm being measured on, and mainly is graduating from high school. Success, to me, looks like students who are making better decisions for their lives. How many children during this time feel better about themselves, feel better about their life's opportunity, making better decisions in terms of their nutritional habits, in terms of their stress levels. My top priority in terms of health is just mental health, but it's also emotional health. I don't know how you can quantify someone's emotional growth.
Feedback like this and real-world challenges and programs like MAPP help set the stage for the Building Bridges Defining Metrics Forum hosted at the Institute for Integrative Health. This forum brought together leaders in community, academic research, funding and philanthropy, government, and public school administration to envision an integrative approach to evaluating community-based programs that promote youth health. In the two-day meeting, relevant triumphs and setbacks were shared to create a landscape of understanding for the various stakeholders who were present. I want to leave you all with a few takeaways that came directly from the discussion. These guiding principles are relevant for any stakeholder engaged in community work, and more specifically, those aiming to influence youth health. It's really important that as we're working to continue these efforts, we hold these guiding principles close. First, we want to make sure that we are including and empowering youth and other participants in program development and implementation from needs assessment through data collection. Next, we want to understand how different stakeholders define success and create a common goal to inform programs, metrics, and communications. We also want to continuously consider strategies for long-term change and actually allow time for that change to take root. And we have to remember that programs evolve. We have to have clear goals, but also remain open to what is unexpected. And lastly, a broad evaluation lens is needed to capture the change in youth health. This requires a balance between intuitive observations, stories, and qualitative and quantitative measurement data. These rich discussions were directly influenced by the lessons learned from the Mindfulness at Patterson partnership. Please visit www.tih.org to learn more about our work or check out the rest of these guiding principles in the full Building Bridges Defining Metrics Forum report at www.tinyurl.com/BBDM report. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I hope you got something from this talk that I shared with you. Have a great one and feel free to reach out. Goodbye.